I'm asking if you can honor the $5 on the app that I scanned. And I'm asking for help because that's what it says.
And I did show it to you online where it's listed as $11, right?
But it says here $5 though. So where's the disconnect?
Then
where's the disconnect?
Check out. But if it's not helping me,
bro, it says associate can help, bro. Bro, you're no help, bro. You're no help.
You have to leave. Have a great day. Husband, see? Please leave.
Huh?
I don't know how that would work.
You don't know how it works. Okay, I'll transfer it to you. Void whatever you just scanned. Get rid of it because you guys should know what scan and go is, right? It says I can pay at the register, so it'll bring up everything that I have. You know what I mean? You take it, it's gone. Try to do scan and go. Told me to bring it to our register, but then it said to check the items, but I don't know. I'm just gonna transfer it to the register so it all comes up and I can just pay. Yo, that actually says I already paid. So my card is paid for. Yeah, that's fine. So it says I already paid. So I'm already paid for. Yeah. Yeah, everything in the card. I'll show the guy up there. He's gonna check me anyways. Yeah, scan and go. It's supposed to be scan and go, not scan and wait. It's supposed to be quick. Thank you. I'm finding a price checker in here. It's a little tough. They have a click and find over there, but I don't know. If this Lego's like lower, we're definitely taking the Legos, and I gotta check out sneakers too. So full cart game all day. Let's go. $27. So we're gonna get it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that. Not something that I would collect. But look at that. Bro. Just look at that. We're gonna pay $27. That's a quad up.
Double up.
This place is unbelievable, dude. We got an extra large car right now. Mega profits. Let's go. All right, guys. Trip 1. We've got a lot of good stuff. Something posted over there.
Oh, it's super perfect.
Says who?
Says my man.
Where is it over there?
And none of those rules are posted.
Right. None of the rules are posted. So I would just like to ring out, and I'm gonna just leave. So
Unfortunately, we can't. It's super perfect.
where is it posted?
It's a store rule.
Where? Where is the store
It's
rule?
store policy.
Show me the store policy.
Eventually.
You guys have who's the manager here tonight? I just would like to speak to them. It's already in a carriage. If you could tell them in electronics.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. They, sometimes we do it just based on.
Alright, do you have a mask by chance?
I don't. That's okay. I know Florida doesn't have a mask mandate. I've been pretty good so far.
Alright, well, I cannot serve you if you're not wearing a mask.
We're literally getting all of this for $204.54. That's crazy. Oh, I'm already finished. I already finished it, yeah.
Put them aside so we know exactly what to do.
Yeah, no, it's all set. I didn't want to unpack it, though. It's all big items. Yeah.
We have to know.
Yep, we already got them. Excuse me. You okay?
They're there for
You good?
Yeah.
You do this to anybody else, though? Just wondering.
No, I work.
I know you work.
Security cameras on the
Right.
so
Are
we
you
have-
security, though? Do you ask for protection? Or are you
Well,
just trying to, like, make sure to help people here? You know
No,
what I mean?
we have to air.
Do you mind if can I get in there so I can scan the stuff, or?
Oh, no, that's not allowed.
No? I'm going to need a little bit of your time, so if you're just going to stand there and hold the games here, I mean, they're clearance items, I'm not going to run off and steal them. Nope, I don't want that one. I want to scan every one of them, so that's why I'm saying, can you just stand there and I can, like, just do it really quick? This is becoming not very helpful right now.
Well, I can't leave the case unlocked.
I don't want you to leave the case unlocked. I just want to be able to. Okay, I don't want that one.
They're all coming up as been marked. And yeah, these are with the clearance of the department manager with the map.
I need to scan the front of it because the barcode's not working, so I just need the little image scan. Y'all able to grab the manager?
Set it up.
No, I don't need to print it. I just want to talk to your manager.
You're sure? I am. Give me a second. Okay. Yes, love.
She's yelling out shit in front of everybody. That's just uncalled for. So I don't know. Are you the manager?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So No, you yelled out front. You said you yelled to me when I was walking. You said, "You want to pay for the item? Like, am I stealing it or something?"
I said you want the
I'm not
receipt.
stealing it. No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. You want to know why? Because we got cell phones and we get it on video. So what are you talking about? You lying. Stop lying. Right?
I'll be with you in a
Stop
second,
lying.
okay?
So I paid for this item.
So it went.
A bunch of this stuff
through.
here. I know it went through because I was trying to show you on the app.
Okay.
So I paid all this stuff right on the purchase, right?
Okay.
And then I needed to make a second purchase because I forgot I wanted to use my rewards. So I used this. I had $17.
Okay.
And didn't charge me anything.
Yeah, because that's the Target rewards.
Correct. And
Okay.
that's what I tried to explain. But she's trying to tell me I didn't pay for the item. And then as I'm walking, she yells out in front of everybody, "Do you want to pay for that item?"
And on the walkie.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear me on the walkie?
No, she called
Exactly.
me.
I called her.
Come on. Come on. It's cool, but like, you know what I mean? Don't lie. I know you're embarrassed, but it's cool.
I'm embarrassed.
All right.
I'm embarrassed.
But I'm good, right? Like I'm not stealing?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
appreciate you. Thank you. I'll be back in too. I gotta get some more stuff. Thank you. Easy, man. I'll be back in too. I can't.
We're not crazy, man. Just let us do our job now.
But you're not part of doing your job. You're being a little crazy, man. You guys counted 6. My man was right.
No.
He counted
No,
6, right?
It's 7 there. It's 7 yards there.
But that's not 7, man. That's something different on the receipt. That's 4 different things, man. He already did his
no,
job.
but he has 7. No.
No, I don't.
Sorry. Did you just do the self-checkout over
I did.
Sorry.
Don't they do that at the door?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. I had a problem yesterday too. I had to speak to a manager, but it's okay. All right, I fit 20 on here. I need to find another card to get the rest. All right, we got them. 32 of them, plus the Gujitsus. $10 a piece. We're gonna hold that big price. Let's go experience the Walmart red carpet special. See how good they treat us. Are they gonna tell us 20 items or less? Or are they gonna understand when I tell them scan and go? And the regular registers cannot. I mean, I guess they could, but I don't know if they could because I've been denied. So we're gonna go to self-checkout because that's what Scan and Go tells us to do. Just to be respectful. You cool with that, Ian? Is that cool with you? I can turn it away if you're not.
I don't want to be in it.
All right, cool. We gotta be respectful. I see you peeking. You wanna be in it?
No.
I see you peeking over there.
happened? I used to live.
Curiosity got you famous, you know what I mean? Ready? Watch this, ready? What's up, man? Hi. How you doing? Have a good night. Can't stop the hustle. He's probably looking like, there's no way, whew, saying I don't buy my stuff. Who's saying I ain't buying this stuff, man? Like I don't buy my hustle. Come on. You guys know better. All right, cool. 323, we got 215. Uh-oh, we got somebody chasing me. He's chasing me. He's like, hello, hello. What's up?
You see receipt? Can I see receipt?
Oh, there's no way you're chasing me out here right now in the parking lot.
Why?
Excuse me, unless you're accusing me of stealing,
You know.
there's no way, dude. Dude, you just ran down the parking lot.
I just want to see receipt because he told me you check receipt. That's why.
You just ran down the parking lot. You were like, oh,
No.
right?
I just request you.
Check it out. Let's look at it together. Let's look.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
What's your name? What is it?
Rajesh.
Rajesh. My man. Have a good night.
Check.
Oh, man, these people so lucky, man. Yo, homeboy ran from Walmart. See, this is why I love lives. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, homeboy ran out of the front door like, sir. I'm gonna take them all, so don't even bother.
Taking them all, baby.
Getting some for yourself? No? You can at least smile. At least 100 pounds.
They're not gonna be sold. Excuse me.
What is going on in this Walmart right now, bro? All right, so we're gonna pay with a different card. Transfer to register, scan the barcode.
The nose picker in the building. How many items you pay?
Ma'am, I suggest you let go, ma'am. Am I stealing?
receipt.
Am I stealing? You don't want a lawsuit.
Well, receipt, sir.
Ma'am.
Receipt, sir.
Ma'am.
Sir, receipt.
Ma'am. I'm telling you right now. Hey, get a manager, because the next call is going to be to my fucking lawyer. Get a manager right now. And get head of security, too. Do it again. These Walmart-ass clowns, bro. Walmart warriors at their finest, bro. Come on, man. They don't know who they're messing with, honestly. We're going to go back inside. Man, what is up? What is up? What is up, Hustleholics? Hey, listen, I found some info. Oh, take it easy. Take it easy. We get some new subscribers in the building, man. Shout out to everybody subscribing. What is up, guys? It is, what is it, Monday? It's a Monday night. We're here. We're just hanging out, chilling. Shout out to Jose Carlos Gomez Oliata in the building. We got Virginia Brundage, thank you for joining. And listen, I was thinking, I found out why YouTube sucks so bad, right? So I was doing a little bit of research and I'm like, man, I know I've never bought any followers, subscribers, or anything. I've worked damn hard. You know, why is always the view count or the subscriber count low, right? Now, purposely, I've posted other content on my channel. And it turns out that that YouTube so we all wish that YouTube would push content out to everybody that's subscribed, right? Why? Because that's what makes sense, right? However, if somebody is watching retail arbitrage and I start putting out video game content, React content, all that other stuff, and they don't watch, YouTube actually stops pushing it out to those people. So those people physically don't even see the video. But we don't give a shit. We're here. We're now. Let the abandoners abandon. We are here on a Monday night. Happy to be here. You know, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, listen, this whole Tai Lopez thing, the Tai Lopez thing has really, really got me in an uproar because I knew that this guy was completely full of shiitake mushroom, as I like to say. Completely full of shit, this guy, Tai Lopez. And the funny thing is, there were so many Amazon sellers on the D. On the D. Oh, like Tai Lopez. They were quoting Tai Lopez. They're putting his things in his videos, and he's so smart. Knowledge, right? Knowledge, right? Fucking clown, bro. Right? So I pulled up a couple of videos because I wanted to go through this Tai Lopez thing because on the top of my head, I already know 3 resellers at the top of my head that was so pro Tai Lopez. And I'm like, how do you not see through the BS on this guy? How do you not see the BS? Before we get into that, I was in Target. I found some stuff. Retail arbitrage. They've got 70% of Target. Go to Target. You're going to find some great deals. Check out the new video. It's going to be uploaded probably tomorrow. And show you exactly what I bought today, right? We don't hold our videos for a week, for 2 weeks like other Amazon sellers do, right? That go to Walmart all the time. They hold their videos back 2 weeks so they can show you what they got, but you'll never be able to get what they got because it's already gone by the time you watch the video. Yeah. We know who you are, bro. Trash. But anyways, we're going to go into some Tai Lopez because this guy is effing crazy, dude. This story is so nuts. It's so bananas. It's just like, it's got like written all over you. I told you so. You know what I mean? Check this dude out, bro. You ready? My favorite part of this is when he goes, knowledge. This guy is such a trash bag. Oh my God. Let's get into it.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
A fucking clown, bro. He's like, knowledge. I have to hear it one more time, but I actually need to turn up the volume because that shit is just too funny. That is actually too funny. Ready? Knowledge. Ready? Run it back one more time.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought.
So if for those of you that don't know, this is Tai Lopez. He started, at least in my opinion, the whole course guru, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Like, he started, first of all, his haircut's bad. He's unshaven. That read 50,000 books and you'll be smart kind of guy. You know what I mean? You know those guys that say, hey, I read 3 books a day. I'm super smart. No, the fuck you not. You just wasted hours of your life reading books that you're not even going to implement because you're lazy. Okay? Stop fronting. Let's continue.
It's like the billionaire Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn.
Tai Lopez, the online entrepreneur you know best from the Here in My Garage.
By the way, this is Rockstar Flipper. He's just one of the videos I wanted to click. Hey, and listen, and shout out to the Ed Hardy app, bro. Bringing back Ed Hardy.
Videos and knowledge has been accused of operating a $112 million Ponzi scheme with his partner, Alex Meir. Now, this is alleged by the SEC, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, on this day, September 25th, 2025. If you are not familiar,
this just happened
with
a couple
who
days
this guy
ago.
Is Tai Lopez. He's been around for well over a decade, maybe even 15 years since I've been online and on social media. And he's well known for his YouTube videos and YouTube video ads and other social media posts where he claims to make a ton of money as an entrepreneur and with knowledge that he learned from reading tons of books and from his mentors, his secret mentors.
Knowledge.
I'm going to get into that in a minute. Just bear with me, you guys.
I need to clip that and put it on the soundboard. I got to clip that and put it on the soundboard. Knowledge.
This guy's story is crazy. And then he wants to teach you how to make money also. And what the gig is that he gets these flashy Lamborghinis, these flashy mansions, mainly and allegedly and proven in some cases where he's simply just rented them. And he claims to be able for you to sign up for one of his courses to...
Oh yeah, that was the thing too, man. He was known that he was renting all his vehicles. Like, all his vehicles were, like, rented. Isn't that crazy? Like, if that doesn't scream guru, guys, come on.
$200, $500, $1,000, whatever it might be, and he will teach you what he knows, all of his knowledge, and help you make millions of dollars also. And the way he gets people's attention is through these ridiculous social media commercials. That's what you can refer to them as infomercials, where he shows off these mansions, these beautiful women in bathing suits, these big houses and expensive flashy
bathing
cars.
suits.
He goes on and on and on and on with these ads nonstop.
Beautiful women in bathing
YouTube
suits.
video in the early 2020s or 2010s without Tai Lopez's informational infomercials popping up in front of you claiming to help you make millions of dollars. Let's take a look at one of them right now.
To give up is greatest right before you're about to succeed.
God.
99% of the world, I read it.
Just look how cheap he looks, bro. He just looks cheap.
A statistic gives up if they fail 3 times at anything. For those of you who feel the most pressure, that is probably a sign the breakthrough is close.
Always throwing parties, bro. Is that loud enough? Can you guys hear that? Is the video loud enough?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my party.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Exhibit A of how Tai Lopez would reel people in order to sell them courses to make himself rich by basically claiming to tell you how to get rich. And so, in fact, in one of the videos, it was hilarious. He had like a $20 million Beverly Hills mansion that he was living in, and it turned out it was rented for like the day to film the video. He would turn the corner in one of the hallways and be like, here's one of the bedrooms that we love, and it'd be like a pool hall. And he'd turn this corner and go, this is one of my biggest bathrooms in the house, and it was like the butler's den. He didn't know where anything was because he had never been in the house, but was claiming to live in it. And unfortunately, this country, in the United States and worldwide, people fall for this stuff. They believe these online shysters. They literally see a mansion, they see a car, they see beautiful women, and they go, oh my God, I want that. And they fall for it so easy. And I imagine what the SEC is claiming today, this $112 million Ponzi scheme, is based off of all of that smoke and mirrors. Let me read what they have said. So there's more to it than just his courses and his online scheming and scamming and BS that this guy has fed people for the last 10, 15 years. It says, a pair of flashy, and this is directly from the New York Post today, a pair of flashy e-commerce entrepreneurs who bought bankrupt retail giants, including Pier 1 Imports, Radio Shack, and Modell's Sporting Goods have been...
Remember when he came on and said he was buying Radio Shack, and I thought to myself, I'm like, why is this dude buying Radio Shack? What the fuck is he thinking? Radio Shack, bro? That's such a desolate brand, and man, I just couldn't figure it out, man. And shout out to Kick, man. We're live on YouTube, Kick, and Rumble. Shout out to you guys.
Accused of running a $112 million Ponzi scheme, according to a new lawsuit. So currently, this is civil. They are not in jail. They have not been arrested. But if what the SEC is alleging is true, these will become criminal charges. I assure you, these are big criminal charges.
Dude's going to jail, bro.
On to American Greed, the TV show, right? So Tai and his partner Alex Mayer, who I've put up here, they figured out a way to buy Pier 1 Imports and Radio Shack and Modell's, but they can't figure out a way to make honest money. And if they did make honest money, they weren't happy with that. They got super greedy and had to go steal other people's money. Or perhaps, allegedly again, they stole money from people through all these schemes and scams and lies.
And tried to wash it.
They used that money to try to invest it into...
100%. So what people do is, when you're running a bullshit scam, course buying scheme, what you do is you take your money, or okay, for instance, let's use Scarface for as an example. Scarface makes money, or a drug dealer makes money, tons of money. It's all drug money. They take that money, they wash it, they put it into legitimate businesses so they can seem legitimate. Meanwhile, on the back end, they're still funneling in the dirty money. So in this case, it seems like Tai Lopez was taking the course money, the bullshit money, and he was washing it, trying to buy these no-name brands just to wash the money.
To legitimate businesses like Pier 1, Radio Shack, and Modell's. The problem is they bought businesses that were going bankrupt. Not the greatest thing to invest your money in, right? The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has accused Alex Mayer and Tai Lopez, founders of Miami-based retail e-commerce ventures, REV, of duping investors out of roughly $112 million, according to the Federal Southern District of Florida filing obtained by the Post. It's only about 3.5 hours southeast of me, over on the other coast, in the Atlantic coast over there in Miami, so I'm in Tampa. So they are fellow Floridians, which I didn't know, because every time Ty did videos, he was always in Beverly Hills or California. I never really saw him in Florida. Mayer and Lopez were known for snatching up struggling brick-and-mortar brands and attempting to rebrand them as online-only shops. Their business portfolio included Dress Barn and Steinmart, in addition to those other stores.
Who's buying these brands?
Mayer, an Iranian-born immigrant who worked in risk and safety management of NASA's space exploration missions, man, that guy has a past, teamed up with Lopez at the height of the retail carnage in 2019 when nearly 10,000 stores went out of business. That's a lot, but even more have gone out of business since. I've done tons of videos on this channel about companies going out of business year after year after year.
We have got to the point where literally
anybody can
build a fully working
ads,
app without knowing how to code. This is base 4.
Lopez is also a social media influencer who's written several self-help books, including his 67 Steps on How to Become Wealthy, that incorporate teachings of powerful and famous people like Bill Gates, Charlie Munger, Peter Drucker, Gandhi, and my personal mentors.
This guy just said he wrote a 67-step 67 steps to get wealthy.
always claims he has all these personal mentors. It's complete nonsense, BS, in my opinion, allegedly. He's just made this whole spiel up in order to suck people in and reel them in, hook, line, and sinker. These guys are just scumbags, in my opinion. And
100%.
I'm so glad that he's finally going to possibly go to jail for this. He's got a picture of himself. He always used to do this. Picture of himself with Floyd Mayweather at a Lakers game. He would always flash all this money and prestige and cars and you name it in order to reel people in. Because if you see that, you're like, wow, this guy's successful. Maybe I can learn from him.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how we measure success? That's crazy.
That's not how I think. When I see that stuff, when I see people trying so hard, I immediately go, what's he hiding? What's his scam? What's the scheme? He's full of it, right? People don't get rich like that. I'm skeptical immediately. Immediately. In one of their high-profile deals, REV acquired Radio Shack in 2020, 3 years after the chain's second bankruptcy. They also picked up Modell's assets and Pier 1 Imports in an additional 2020 acquisition of bankrupt company.
Crazy.
The business-savvy pair allegedly made material misrepresentations to hundreds of investors about the brand's performance between 2020 and 2022, including claims that the companies were on fire, the SEC alleged. So again, they duped people, hundreds of investors. 100 investors at $112 million is clearly $1 million plus per investor. So they were duping high net worth people, people with lots of money to invest. How do you have so much money and you can't figure out that Radio Shack is not on fire?
Honestly.
Isn't that like common sense? Nobody goes to Radio Shack. When was the last time you were on radioshack.com? Is that even?
And that's what I'm talking about. Why would you... When they were doing that, I was like, why is he buying that? It makes no sense.
A website that's available to look at right now. Let's check radioshack.com. Like, who even goes to these sites? It is actually a website that you can purchase things off of. How do you not know it's not on fire? No one's visiting Radio Shack, right? Like, they lied to investors saying, oh, we bought it out of bankruptcy and now it's doing amazing. How would you as an investor with enough money to invest, smart enough to build a nest egg, go, wow, Radio Shack, that's an amazing investment? That's dumb, right? That's super dumb. They also allegedly made bogus promises to prospective investors that money raised for their companies would only be used to fund that specific firm. So only the company, the money they were raising, only funded that company that was buying things in bankruptcy and building it. Contrary to those representations, while some of the REV retail brands generated revenue, none generated any profits, the lawsuit said. So they were lying. Their companies are selling stuff and making money, like generating money, but there's no profit. It costs way too much to operate, way too much to buy stuff, way too much expense and overhead. Those companies went bankrupt for a reason. But you can bet in every picture you got Super Tai here with his Rolls Royce, you know, here in my garage.
Knowledge.
These guys are shysters, man. When they go to these links, they're absolutely shysting you. They're scamming you. They're scheming you. When they're showing you mansions and Lambos and Ferraris and they're always out, 99% of the time it's a scam. The investments you want to get into are the low-key, smaller ones where you can put a little money in, you can make a little money, you can get out. Nobody's balling out in Europe and Vegas. Nobody's, you know, these people that are doing these investments that are really making money are in their head down, making money, investing, working, and not out partying and balling. Like when he's out doing all these parties, when does he have time to make any money, to run these companies? That's your first thing. You got to get somebody who's actually out there working. I work with a handful of people on wholesale and reselling, and if you follow my emails or anything else, you see that I'm out buying and selling wholesale lots every single day, and I work with a handful of people, especially during this fourth quarter, where we just put in a few $1,000 or a few $100 each. We pull it all together. We buy and sell the inventory. We all make a few bucks. Everyone's happy. No one's out making Bugatti money. Nobody's out promising everyone Bugatti money. We make our 10, 20, 30% and we move on, right? Like that's investment, not this crazy
course selling guru bullshit.
Shyster stuff, right? Consequently, in order to pay interest, dividends, and maturing note payments, defendants resorted to using a combination of loans from outside lenders, merchant cash advances known as MCAs, money raised from new and existing investors, and transfers from other portfolio companies to cover their obligations, the document continued. At least $5.9 million in return payments to investors were actually Ponzi-like payments funded by other investors rather than the companies. So they take people's money, they buy these bankrupt companies. These bankrupt companies cannot make a profit. So all the money is sunk in here. There's no money coming out of it. They're generating just enough to, I guess, stay open. And so then the investors say, hey, I want my piece of the profit, but there is no profit. So in order to draw them in, they promise profit where there is no profit. And so they go back and they're like, okay, well, we can't pull any profit out of this company because there is none. So we're just going to go to other people and get money from them, and we'll pay these people with that money. That's how a Ponzi scheme works, right? When you use other people's money to pay what you promised somebody else. Like that.
Speaking of Ponzi scheme, you know what I was caught up in back in the day? Do you guys remember BitConnect? Yep. That was me. Yep.
That's a Ponzi scheme through and through.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space?
No.
With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right.
The agency also accused Miriam Lopez of taking $16.1 million for personal use. And that's where the Ponzi schemes failed. So these two guys stole $16.1 million. If they had taken that 16.1 towards business instead of their own Rolls Royces and mansions and knowledge, they could have invested it, made legitimate money, paid
knowledge,
paid the people off, still had some money left over, probably a couple million, and been just fine, and none of this would have happened. But it's greed. They just used that money to live a life of opulence, right? Not an everyday middle-class life like most of us live. They lived a life of Rollses and Bugattis and private jets, and that's where people get into trouble. You take all that money back, and they could take care of all their investors and still live good, still run a business, and still have a wonderful life. They don't got to have $16 million. They could have had $1.6 million and used the $15 million to pay off other investors and pay off what they needed to pay off and invest it and make real money, but they didn't. Lopez or Mir did not respond for a comment from the New York Post.
Oh, God. I'm so happy this dude possibly is going to go to jail. He's such a bullshit artist. I'm so happy.
Big shock that this guy, Tai Lopez, is actually facing SEC charges for allegedly running a $112 million Ponzi scheme. This is civil, and I guarantee you guys within the week or next week, these two are going to be charged criminally in federal court, probably in the Southern District of Florida, possibly in New York, depending on where their investors were and where the crimes took place and where they apparently jumping state lines. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Have you ever seen Tai Lopez? You ever heard of Tai Lopez? What did you think of Tai Lopez for the last 10 or 15 years?
Trash bag, bro.
Did you feel like the guy was a scammer? Did you feel like there was something
from day one
amiss in this story? Let me know in the comment section below. Tai
from
Lopez,
day one.
Knowledge here in my garage. Turns out he may be filming his next video here in my jail cell.
Yes.
Better than ever, guys. Make sure you keep your head on a swivel. Stay tuned. Make some money. I'll update this story as new news comes out on it. I appreciate you watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And
Dude,
make sure if you invest with somebody.
Appreciate you, man. We're going to give you a like, man. I like that video. But listen, we have such trash. Like, nothing's working for me. So I have to do everything by hand. You know what I mean? Nothing's working for me. I got to do everything by hand. I actually wanted to... I was trying to get this React set up, right? So there's a, what do you call it? Look, ready? If I do this or this, bring back the bottom line, right? And bring myself up hither like that. But then I have to pull this. This has to come down. But see how I'm like in it? Like I'm trying to figure out. Let me see if I get rid of this and I get rid of this. Well, Mac OS screen capture. Control, no. There was an option there was an option that I did, and I can't figure out what stinking option it was here. I'm trying to like get this set up to the best of my ability because I want to come live at least twice a week. And I really, really liked the way, I'm trying to figure out screen capture, media source, video capture device. I just don't remember. Window. Oh, okay, hold on. Battery, Bluetooth, now playing. What is all of this shit? Tai Lopez. Okay, all right, this is it, right? Check this out, right? If we shut this off, we put this on. There we go. That's that's such a better viewing experience, man. Such a better viewing experience, right? And then this can go like that. And then if I wanted to, let me see something real quick. If I wanted to take this out and put this in, because I do want to get a different point of view on it. Let me see this one. Oh yeah. See, bro, we're trying here. We're trying to make this. And then up here, above me, up here, I'm trying to figure out how to get the damn chat on the screen. I have a chat box, but the damn thing is not friggin' working, and I don't know why. See, look. It's supposed to be right there. That's supposed to be the chat box, bro. That's supposed to go away. The chat box. But it's not. Chat box ain't working, right? So it's like, I have to figure it out. But I think this is a better viewing experience, right? Like, it's a better screen. I think it's just a better viewing experience than I'm in a bigger space, right? We have Hustleholics. We got the logo right down there. We've got the logo line. We're trying to just get established, trying to get everything set up so that way when we go live, things are seamless. I've been reorganizing everything. I've actually been working really, really, really hard on trying to organize this stuff. I actually have a second dual monitor, I actually have two additional monitors. I have a big monitor I have to hook up. I'm just waiting for a switcher to come in the mail to use it. And then I have a portable monitor, and then that way I can run all chats on one. Because right now I can only see YouTube and Kick. I can't see Rumble chat, anything like that. But I also need to put OBS on one screen and what I'm viewing on the other screen so I can switch through the videos, because the video is per, it's like custom measured. You know what I mean? And my fucking Stream Deck is not working. This fucking Stream Deck, I swear to God, pain in the ass, bro. All right, let's let me see. Let's see if we get this guy to work. Ready?
Tai Lopez, my business advisor, my mentor, and the guy who taught me how to buy a Ferrari so I could flex it on social media just to get some views, is getting sued, and it's really bad. I think my mentor might be going to prison. It's a sad, sad day. I feel like it's appropriate to start with a Facebook ad, considering Tai and his business partner are the kings of social media ads.
Congratulations are in order. Alex, my business partner, if you saw the news, last month he just sold his company for $255 million. 255. You can Google Alex Mayer.
I found this TechCrunch article about Zeusk showing that they had raised $60 million. And I found the S1 filing for Zeusk showing that Alex Mayer had a 12.4% equity stake. The reason why I know this is because many years ago, when they first started raising money, my buddy Tom Nash, who's a fellow YouTuber, and I made a video together jumping on that call. I'll show you that video at the end. We figured out, we did some math. Tom Nash more than I did. He's really good at this. He kind of figured out that after venture capital was paid off, after they paid off debt, Alex had a 50-50 split between cash and equity. We found out that it might have been $5 or $10 million. While very successful, not taking anything away from him, If you watch these ads that Tai and Alex are running, it was all about he sold this company for $300 million, and that is what enticed investors.
All right, we're gonna watch it the other way, just right now, because I have to be able to pause the video. Gotta give my commentary, bro.
To invest. If you found out that he only maybe kept 5 or 10 million, it's a little different than the claims of 300 million. I'm going to show you this ad real quick because this is how investors found out about this investment offering.
It's interesting. I've been telling people to co-invest with me in deals for the last 12 months. Some people have listened to me, some haven't.
So the news is out. Last week, Tai and I bought a major American clothing brand called Dress Barn.
Why would you buy Dress Barn?
And with over $740 million of annual sales.
I'm taking it online, closing down 650 department stores.
Hopefully you guys remember what they did. Basically, they took on some of these companies that were going bankrupt, and it sounded good. This was March of 2020, and so they were going to raise money, go and buy these distressed businesses, build them up using their expertise in digital ads, and then eventually sell them for a massive profit. One thing I really don't like is when Tai Lopez was posting that you could invest $300,000 and they'd pay you $60,000 a year in monthly payments. For those without a calculator, that would be 20%. I really dislike this, and I remember at the time seeing this, and I started going, oh, this isn't good. My spidey senses were saying this isn't good. Only for accredited investors, return not guaranteed. I love the claims at the bottom. Invest at your own risk. I absolutely love these because they mean absolutely nothing in court. Please, all of you understand out there, when you hear someone say, this isn't financial advice, invest at your own risk, return not guaranteed, it means absolutely nothing, as Tai's about to find out. He still got served with the complaint by the SEC. In March of 2023, I found this New York Post article, and there was a statement about Alex Mayer. He was sending emails saying the same thing. $300K invested will send you up to $60,000 a year. He also made...
I know. You can see with my head, right? I mean, as long as you can see the headline.
The claim that they've paid out over $25 million to investors. He forgot the important second sentence, which is that wasn't from profit, that was from other investor money. The complaint alleges that they raised a total of $230 million. Approximately $112 million went to their 8 Rev retailer brands. So Rev is the company, the fund essentially. That was the company that went out and bought these distressed brands. Alex and Tai raised money for each specific brand in order to...
Look at all these brands, bro. Trash brands, all of them.
Essentially buy it. The green dollar figure you see is the amount they raised for each brand. The bodybuilding.com does not have a number. That was not listed in the complaint, but I very strongly believe that they bought that brand as well. You can see that this is a lot of money that they were able to raise. Charts like this definitely make you a little squeamish. Annual interest rates, they were promising 12 to 25%. Monthly dividends of 1 to 1.5%, up to 2%. You may ask, why were they promising this? Tai claimed he was acquiring the businesses so cheaply as the reason that they were paying such high returns. What's confusing to me is the equity should come at the sale, not from the cash flow. The cash flow should be from profits. Take note of these dates. September 2022, there was a news article. Tuesday morning, a big brand gets a lifeline from Pier 1 owners. This is Rev, Tai, and Alex.
Hold on. We need to put... I need to just... Let me shrink my behind here, because... There we go.
They buy Tuesday morning, September 2022. I get this article sent to me February 15th, 2023. I remember seeing this. I still remember the day. There was someone I know who had actually been in litigation who had sued Tai Lopez before. He sent it to me and said, hey, this is alarming. And
see, I like this because this dives a little bit deep into the whole Tai Lopez bullshit. Hey, shout out to G, bro. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining the stream.
I remember seeing this going, oh, this doesn't sound good. 5 months later, that company's already filing for bankruptcy? Despite investors' repeated requests around February 2021 for the financial statements for Dress Barn, one of the brands that they invested in, Tai Lopez said the company was cash flow strong and not operating at heavy losses. This was false and misleading because Dress Barn, listen to this, everyone. They were experiencing losses of nearly $13.7 million and $10.7 million for the 2 years, 2020 and 2021. That is significant. But even worse is that the internal financial statements for Steinmart, another brand, show that they were experiencing net losses of nearly $1.7 million and $5.7 million for the same 2 years. So Tai was not showing the financial statements to investors who gave him money. He was saying that they were cash flow strong, clearly a lie, not operating at heavy losses. My friends, $14 million a year to $11 million a year, that is a huge financial loss. Alex and Tai boasted to investors of Rev that they had never missed a payment to a single investor. In particular, during a May 2022 investor Zoom call, Tai stated that Rev never missed a cash payment or preferred payment since inception. Notice the date, May 2022. Here's the most important part of complaints like this. Defendants were aware. Those three words are incredibly important. They were aware that neither Rev nor any of their brands were generating sufficient revenue to cover costs, yet failed to disclose that to investors until mid-December 2022. So investors up until that point, that sounds like it was possibly 2 years of being in the dark. They were being lied to.
That's nuts, dude. That is absolutely crazy.
Lied to. The defendants were aware that things were not going well, and they did not disclose that to investors. That, my friends, is the heart of this complaint. On October 31, 2022, keep in mind these dates, the 12 months preceding that, the Rev retailer brands incurred monthly net losses ranging from $3.8 million to $12 million. Over a full year, that's roughly, what, $45 million to $144 million? They raised $112 for these brands, and were incurring monthly net losses annualized up to $100 million. How in the world were they this incompetent? What am I missing?
Dude, because they were scam artists, course selling retards. That's why. They were course selling retards. That's why they were incompetent.
They raised a bunch of money. Did they take some money for themselves? We'll find out in a minute. Defendants knew that the retailer brands were in financial trouble. That, my friends, is when everything turns for me. When I read these complaints, I come from an objective point of view, try to figure out what is going on. What's the story here? Whenever defendants know that something is going wrong, they know that an investment is going wrong, they know that the business is cash flow negative, and they still promote that it's going well, they lie to investors, and they still raise money, that is where, in my eyes, the DOJ should step in and turn this into a criminal complaint. This is just a civil complaint, everyone. I think the DOJ should turn this into a criminal complaint. So the three defendants, Birkenroad, we'll talk about her in a second, Maya Birkenroad, Tai, and Alex, they discussed the overall financial situation with themselves. They believed that they needed to raise additional capital, prioritize vendor payments, and triage investor payments. Despite these financial struggles, they continued to promote new offerings by touting the success of the brands. That is where everything changes for me. That is when I think it needs to go from civil to criminal. I don't know the exact law on this, so someone can help me out in the comments.
I actually agree with them. It needs to turn from civil to criminal for sure. 100%.
In my opinion, this is where everything should go criminal. You know things aren't going well. You've lied to investors. And the worst part about it is you try to go raise new money from new investors in order to pay off old investors and try to make these floundering businesses look successful on social media to keep raising new money. That is criminal in my eyes. And it kept getting worse. That is what was really interesting about reading this complaint is in my eyes, it just kept getting worse. Like up to that point, I'm like, oh, it needs to be criminal. But it got worse. November 2022. I hope you guys are keeping the dates in mind. So they held an investor conference in Las Vegas, and I'll show you a post. This is from Baller Busters, but they saved it. Tai Lopez had a post. This is a September 30th conference in Las Vegas. I don't know if they're exactly the same ones. This is November 2022, but for all intents and purposes, probably similar. Okay, so despite making statements about the financial success of their business strategy, they failed to disclose the financial struggles. They failed to disclose that the brands had in fact missed some investor payments. So picture this, Tai, Alex apparently are probably on the stage. He can run a lot of ads. I imagine there's a lot of people that attend these conferences.
Man.
A very popular guy on social media. So in front of big crowds, he's lying to these people. They did not disclose that these brands were...
Sorry about the ads.
Game, you're not ready.
Losing, what, $30 to $100 million a year. So instead of disclosing that, they said, hey, times are good. If you want to invest with us, I imagine, as the next paragraph alludes to, they got their email address, and they immediately sent, in November, right after the conference, November 2022, they solicited investment via email. Remember, during the middle of that year, they were already aware, they were made aware that the brands were struggling, that there was no cash flow to pay off investors. And in November 2022, they held a conference and lied to investors again by not disclosing the struggles of the companies, and then tried to raise money via email. But my friends, it gets even worse.
How can it possibly get worse? How?
However, immediately after the conference and post-conference emails, defendants stopped making investor payments and hosting investor calls altogether. So 1 month before, they're trying to raise money at a conference, they're soliciting via email, and then a month later, when this whole time they've known that these brands are underwater and they're not able to pay investor returns, they just shut it down and walk away? On December 15th, Tai finally showed up to an investor call that he had missed for several weeks, and he disclosed for the first time to investors that Rev and the retailer brands and the portfolio companies were in financial trouble. So he's finally letting everyone know, not in February 2021, not in middle of 2022, not in all the months where apparently maybe every several weeks they had a call, not during that entire time, but finally on December 15th. My guess is he believed he finally raised the final amount of money he could raise. He finally disclosed that they were in financial trouble, they were unable to make investor payments, and that Rev's management was exploring restructuring or selling one or more of the portfolio companies. The scheme is finally toppling. Here's MentorBox's website, a company that Alex and Ty were running. I don't know the success of that company.
Did you see that? That was like the... Let's go back real quick.
Here's MentorBox.
Look at that. That's the bookshelf. That looks like that's in dude's garage. Like, doesn't that look like that's the bookshelf that was in his garage when he was like, this is my Lambo. Knowledge.
This website, a company that Alex and Ty were running. I don't know the success of that company, but I think they were bringing in pretty legitimate revenue.
Look, he just looks.
And Ty were running. I don't know the success of that company, but I think they were bringing in pretty legitimate.
He just looks like a scumbag sleazeball.
Revenue. And Maya Birkenrode, we're going to talk about her next. She's on the executive team. She was the chief content and process officer for MentorBox. She is also Ty's cousin. They dedicated an entire section just to Maya because it's important to note that she was listed as Rev's president, COO, chief risk, funny word, chief risk officer, who also served in an executive capacity for 2 companies. She was described on the website as having over 10 years of experience managing multi-million-dollar companies.
Bro, how can you actually go and listen again? My Stream Deck is not working right now, or else I would go to full cam view. But how did he even get away with it for this long? That's what I want to know. How for this long?
The problem here is that there was no proof. Paragraph 58. The years before working as Rev's president and COO, Maya worked as a substitute preschool teacher, a promoter at a radio station, as an assistant to her cousin Ty in his online education company. It doesn't sound like she was managing multi-million-dollar companies. It sounds like she was just an assistant. I think some of you know what's coming next. The defendants improperly commingled investor funds to perpetuate the illusion that they were huge financial successes. How much, Spencer? How much were they taking? $16.1 million from themselves.
Oh, they were like, hey, we're going to get out of here with 16.1 mil.
I think this argument, this complaint changes a little bit if the defendants never take any money from themselves. If they don't enrich themselves, they never take money for personal use, they never commingle funds. I think that changes the argument a little bit, and I think the punishment is less severe. But once you find out that they take $1 or more, I think it changes when you have these companies that sounds like they were struggling massive financial losses, massive negative cash flow every month from the beginning. Within a year or two, these companies were darn near bankrupt. And yet they took $16.1 million. By my basic calculations, that's what, 15% of the money raised? 15%. Companies that were negative cash flow, that were going bankrupt, heading to bankruptcy, they took around 15% of the money raised, not of cash flow, of the entire money raised.
Bro, when I heard about the whole dress barn thing, and he came out with this like short video clip, like he was like saving the world. I'm taking on this to going online and blah, blah, blah. I remember when he was talking about Radio Shack, he was like, I'm taking an old American brand and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why would he buy Radio Shack? For what?
15%. They did it for themselves. What? To fly private? To have the nice car, Spencer? Duh, who doesn't want a Ferrari?
Knowledge.
That, my friends, is fraud. And that's where everything turns for me. That is where this absolutely becomes criminal.
This is what the world's most advanced PC looks like.
This next ad is something that Ty was running recently. He's throwing a mansion party. Tell me if this is LA to its core.
At the new house, I put a link below. Mansion party, pool party, business mastermind all in one.
Mastermind all in one. I remember seeing this.
I'll see you here. I'm gonna put a link below. Got 3 different type of tickets. You wanna come talk business? There's a ton of high rollers flying in, entrepreneurs, big personal brands, not just to have
A lot of beautiful women. There weren't many men pictured in that, were there? There's a big mansion, $100 million house, beautiful women, and then Tai. You know what's funny is I used to house hack, this thing where you buy a house and then you rent out all the rooms and you essentially live for free. Very good form of investing. Co-living is another word for it. What's ironic is Tai is house hacking his mansion, but just in a different way. Instead of having roommates, he throws parties. Do I think he can afford it on his own? Maybe, probably. He sold like $100 million when he was a course selling guru, and he's obviously stolen like $16 million from investors. So 100 grand a month in rent can be affordable if you take $16 million. I just find it funny that in LA, this is a party in Beverly Hills, $100 million house that he's paying 100 grand a month for, but it's all from like investor money, selling courses, and it's all about business success, and I'm going to teach you how to run your business. But this guy's getting sued for $112 million by the SEC. It's a bunch of beautiful women. Come out and pay me to join my mastermind. Is there anything more LA than this? But it gets even worse. The complaint just kept going. Now we're into paragraph 69 and 70. This is where it explains that Rev was sharing money in between the companies. So paragraph 69 is that they, in February of 2022, remember that date. Remember everyone, in May of 2022, he was saying, no, everything's good, everything's good. November 2022, he was trying to raise more money through emails. In February 2022, they made 5 transfers. Essentially, they had money in Radio Shack's bank account, $1.41 million. They transferred it to the parent company, the Rev, I'm guessing just the single bank account, the Rev bank account. And then they needed to total out $1 million to these 5 other brands. My guess is those brands needed to pay out investors. You gotta keep them quiet. So you take money from Radio Shack's account to pay out investors over here.
Ponzi.
For those 5 other brands. Paragraph 70 gets even worse. In November 2020, when I'm reading this, I keep getting thrown off by the date. So November 2020, 1.7 million in investor proceeds was transferred from Radio Shack directly to Steinmart. The defendants transferred at least 5.9 million in investor proceeds directly between portfolio companies. That was as early as November 2020. So they started raising money March 2020, and just 5 or 6 months later, they were already running a fraudulent business. So the reason why this matters is because these individual companies, they raised money on the individual companies. Ideally, those companies had cash flow in the investors who gave them money. They make their returns through the cash flow. But as you guys are probably, figuring out, if you're reading between the lines here, they're raising money for all these different businesses, and in order to pay out investor money, they needed new money. What does that sound like, everyone? Then we get to the section titled Ponzi-like payments to investors.
Basically, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're trying to rob funds from one account to cover your funds there, and you just keep washing. You go back and forth, washing back and forth, washing back and forth, washing back and forth.
I just explained it to you, but this lays it out perfectly. In order for the older investors to be paid out, they needed money from new investors. And they share that all 3 defendants approved these payments to early investors. Tai, Alex, and Maya, they should have been knowledgeable enough to know that you can't...
You know what I'm going to say, right? Knowledge.
Pay out investor funds with new investor money. They need to be cash flow from the businesses. This is about as clear cut as it can get. In my eyes, this is a criminal complaint. This should be criminal, and the defendants should serve jail time. Again, lawyers, please comment in the section below if I am off here, but I don't know how you can only get hit with a civil fine. This is criminal. In another lawsuit, I was able to find the list of creditors here, and I'm under the impression that they're all accredited investors, and we know the amount, 112 million, but it's different when you see a name and a number. So I'm going to scroll here on the screen. Some of these people put $1 million in. Some of them as low as just a couple grand. Some of them 50, 100.
Who? 200,000? Oh, those are a list of creditors. These are all the people, bro. These are all the people that put money into knowledge. Who the hell? Yo, Jose Arizola put 1,300. Bro. Like, what are you doing?
250,000, and it's just really...
What do we got here? Ooh, 100,000. Mario Stewart. These are all public names, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're all the Amazon seller dick riders, bro. Are their names on here? Did they give money? All the Amazon reseller dick riders that were dick riding Tai Lopez, bro?
Really sad because...
Let's see. Anybody? Ooh, 1.1 million. Matthew Miller. No, that's... Yeah, Matthew Miller. No. Is that Matthew Miller? That's crazy.
To my knowledge, the
1.7 million. Mike Rando. Holy shit. I wonder if there is anybody on here that we know.
These people lost everything. This is a lot of money.
Let's see. Rajesh, the guy who worked at Walmart, put in $1 million. Rajesh.
You can only hope that they lost money that they could.
1.08. Tanya Lopez. Sunil Lavani. Jesus.
Could lose. That hopefully all these people are multi-millionaires, and this was just.
Usman Azad Khan, $1,000. Who's putting in Hyatt Regency, $337? Usman Shaukat, $500. These people didn't trust him, but they're like, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Fun money that they give to that social media clown, and maybe it'll turn into 20% returns. But these people lost a significant amount. Of interest, of note, Tai Lopez actually put in over $1 million, which I thought was interesting. But here's the list. My buddy Tom Nash, one of my closest YouTube friends, we made this video, I can't remember, maybe early 2021, and I'll kind of skim through. It's an older video. It's no longer on his channel because he's pivoted and he took down some of these older videos. But we ended up jumping on these investor calls. Now, it's a little longer video, so I won't play it for you, but it was really interesting. So we jumped on the call, and I'll show you here in just a second. And we were messaging Alex. He was doing these live streams, and we kept messaging him. And Tom, initially, he's really skilled at this, at valuing businesses. And he was asking very strong investor questions, like expert level, that I wouldn't have even thought of. And Alex kept getting triggered, and he kept kicking us off the call. And so we would then change our names. And after 2 or 3 times of getting kicked off, then we started ultra trolling because we realized, like, this is not good. What was really fascinating at this time, it was probably early to mid 2021. What was really fascinating is everything seemed good. They were running all these big ads about he sold a company for $300 million and it's Tai Lopez and they can generate these great returns for these businesses. But I remember getting off the call and Tom and I had a discussion. We chatted on the phone after we kept getting kicked off. We looked at each other. We're like, hey man, this doesn't sound good. This is really odd. Like, we don't have a good feeling about this. And to his credit, Tom did a really good job explaining at the end of the video all the reasons. He spent about 4 minutes disclosing, hey guys, you should really be skeptical of this investment. I would highly advise you not to invest in this company. And that's when he looked into Alex's background. We found that, the $300 million, not quite as successful as he claimed. And our ultimate conclusion was stay away. I've certainly been more right than wrong in this YouTube career, but I can't deny that it kind of feels good to be really right on this. This is certainly not the place to be like, I told you so, because that's not the intention. But looking back, it was really fascinating to have this experience in real time, feel like this is a really bad investment and that I was really skeptical. And then you start seeing the bankruptcy news articles on CNN. Oh, wow, the Pier 1 guys, Alex and Tai, wow, that company's going bankrupt. Over the years to see it each go bankrupt. And then I ultimately made a video in 2023 about this scheme and saying, like, dude, I'm skeptical, a little skeptical. I don't like the investment. And then here we are in late September 2025 to see an SEC complaint be the result of this. Really fascinating to see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching.
Damn, guys. Hey, listen, I had something come up. I'm going to end here. I appreciate you guys being here, but I'm going to hop on probably on Thursday night to get into some more news. Probably these streams are going to be geared towards Amazon business, but also on news, current events, and stuff like that. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.